Hello everyone, good morning. This is Christian again speaking from Axway Support, API Gateway Support. It is a pleasure to me today to present you another configuration, another setup that use API Gateway and API Manager. Today I'm going to refer OAuth Authorization Code Flow configuration. It will be a demo like always, and it will be with demonstrations, screenshots, commands, output, so that you, following this material, you will be easily able to implement this test use case. This being one of the 4 or 5 OAuth configuration that API Gateway can implement. Before going to the technical presentation, allow me please to present you very shortly a couple of ways you may use to benefit from the Axway support and Axway professional support. One of these is Axway community portal. This community portal is open to everyone and it presents information structured on the 3 or 4 main chapters and 3 main fields that actually builds software. It is API management, B2BI integration, manage file transfer. There are articles, there are discussions, so where everyone raise a question and someone answer to this question. As you see, you may get feedback from actual professionals, support, consultants, product management, developers. So it's a valid and genuine resource for your development and for your business projects. What I can show you is that in the past I already built some other material like this one, and I will shortly present you this one with a demo with API Portal multiple managers, and this one it's a API Portal troubleshooting process, quite useful for everyone install and administer API Portal. This is integration builder API management on cloud and on-prem in one place. This one, it is a hostname resolution network setup. There are aspects in our, let's say, technical activity where, of course, the operating system servers are tightly linked with our services, with our software. Our software work on this operating system and utilize the network. So a host name resolution is very important. Even you have a corporate network with domain name server, DHCP server, where the IP schema is stable and reliable, or if you run your setup in your laptop, in your workstation, in your home network, so that our products can rely on the hostname resolution in order to allow the services run properly. So there are setups and options for you. These materials can be found on the 2 channels, public channels on YouTube, Axway API management channel and the Axway developers here. And another material I built recently, last month actually. It is a first OAuth setup. It's an external OAuth setup with the API manager, and I used as an identity provider Okta public services. You may have a look, you may refer to them and then use it in your configuration. So that was a very short introduction about what materials you can find. Of course, you can find a lot of other materials, as you can see here. And in X-Ray API management, there are a lot of use cases and a lot of configurations presented. You have only to search and you will find what you are interested in. Okay. So today I'm going to present you this authorization code flow configuration. This setup is described in our documentation here. It is used mainly for authorization for the web server flow, web browsers. All the steps, all the stages that a request comes through are presented here. Exactly this material, I felt the need to expand and explain with all the details possible, with images, with videos, with commands, so that everyone can implement easily. Okay, today I'm going to use this installation of July 2020 X-Ray API Gateway. Is this an API Manager installed? The API Manager is here. And I'm going through the setup, and I also present you commands and output on the command line. Okay. So first of all, let's see how the backend's API looks like. The backend, it's training. This is the base URL. It's a health check. Expose it on the services port of the API gateway. It has only one method. It's a get. And you must use string for response type. Here it's an application JSON, and that's all. It's quite simple. This backend, it is virtualized here. As an inbound, you have to obtain authorization using OAuth. The OAuth configuration is the following. It is barely the standard configuration with one or two observations where you have to use hostname. I replaced localhost with alias of my hostname. I have a virtualization host, Quest in a server. So usually I do not use localhost or 127.0.0.1 in no occasions to test my configuration. So I used my alias of my hostname here. This I skipped. This is an important thing. Access token location, it's a request header. Okay, going further, I will show you outbound. Outbound, it's going to access health check service with no authentication. So this was for a API manager. Now you have to create an application that uses this API. So I'm going to go to API Manager, Applications. This one is my API is used training, and for authentication I used OAuth credentials. I put aside this information, which is client ID. And also the secret. These are significant information. Okay. More than that, this has to be confidential, client secret ID, JavaScript origins, star, all the origins allowed. Redirect URL is this one. Keep in mind it's not HTTPS, it is HTTP. And this certificates, it is the certificates used in the sample configuration in this path. So in this path of the installation API Gateway sample scripts out, you may see two certificates. You have to use this one, copy the information from here, and paste it here. Save, and that's it with the applications. There are a series of modifications you may do on the scripts. Use it for this use case. The scripts are located in script out folder. So these are the authorization code that it is in that in this script. Authorization code Python should be commented and replace it with this one. And also, this invocation from Java swing import should be commented on all 5 files. More than that, this out common Python script has to be modified with these new details. So the current client ID should be commented. Client ID should be pasted here from this information. Client secret as well. Client scope, it is resource read. Client redirect, where it is the one we use see now redirect. And then there are 2 servers to indicate API server, which is an authorization server, and REST server. So you have to comment 127.0.1 and insert this line. That's all at the file level, configuration file level. Now we are going to present Policy Studio. I use the same Policy Studio, the same version. It is July. So we have a new user added. It is this one. And then in server settings, you have to use access token info and OAuth access token store. And accessing refresh policy in OAuth 2 access token service. This filter has to be modified from inform body to in authorization header. So that was with Policy Studio, and of course deploy. Now we have to run a series of commands in command line to simulate the client activity. So the first command is this one. So it's a run sh and then OAuth authorization. Here you will get an outcome or output. This has to be copied and pasted into the browser. And you get this prompt. You sign in, and now you allow this application accessing the resources. Allow access. When the prompts get back, you have this information, which is the authorization code flow. You copy this one and paste it here. In this way, you right now can have the access token. Is this one. You get 200. And happily, you have a refresh token. And there you have a confirmation that you ran this command successfully. It is one important observation. So this set of activities, running this command up to the latest copy paste, has to be done in, let's say, real time. You have to not delay these activities. Otherwise, the code will expire and you'll get a 400. In case that you get a 400, you have to resume the process. The token, it is present in API Manager authorization. Here is the token. In case that you delete it, you have to request the token again. Now, with the access token, we can interrogate our resource. So this is taking the information of the token. It's token info and the token you get. Let's see. So this is the information referring to token, is the expiry time and the scopes and so on and so forth. Now I'm going to refresh an access token response, and I'm using the refresh token. Keep in mind that this is the refresh token. It is completely separated than the access token received. This has to be used. This one. So refreshing the token, you get a new series of access token and refresh token. Our resource is that API that is exposed under the health check get. So in order to get access to this, you have to use the authorization token. So this is the command in the CRL. And here I'll copy the token, and here you are. So we got 200, we got status OK, and this is the request and the response in verbose mode. Okay, so the resource is available. You may revoke the token in two ways, using revoke token here or going to API manager in this way. Delete. In this way, when you ask again the access to the resource, you will get not authorized. So today, this was the material. This was the demonstration of this auth flow. It's authorization code flow using the API manager and API gateway from Axway. It can be used and can be tested by yourself. The sample scripts are shipped with the product, so you may use those setups so that you to get familiar with the flows. You get familiar with the setup, with the requests. So in this way, you may, let's say, have a graphical representation of the documentation. This was the setup. This is Christian. I would like to thank you that you have participated to this demo. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.